Have you ever noticed how, after talking to certain people, your energy seems to disappear and even your financial confidence weakens? Have you ever felt as if there were a silent force draining your strength, undermining your faith, and sabotaging your prosperity? Sometimes that force isn't inside you. It's around you, in the conversations, in the advice, in the jokes, and in the people you spend the most time with. The truth is, no one prospers in isolation, but no one prospers when surrounded by the wrong people either. Napoleon Hill, author of Think and Grow Rich, said that one of the keys to wealth is being part of a mastermind, a group of aligned minds where creative energy and shared focus multiply the results of each individual. Hill affirmed that when two or more minds come together in harmony, an invisible third force is born, a collective mind, more powerful than the sum of its parts. But what almost no one talks about is that the opposite is also true. When minds unite in complaint, fear, and scarcity, another collective force emerges, only this time a destructive one, a negative mastermind, an energy field that sabotages the growth of everyone involved. And the most dangerous part is that you might be part of one without even realizing it. You see, the human brain has something called mirror neurons. They make us unconsciously imitate the emotions, gestures, and behaviors of the people around us. It's an ancient mechanism designed to ensure survival and social connection. But the same system that makes you yawn when someone else yawns also makes you absorb other people's fear, anger, and pessimism, especially when those people are close to you. Science calls this emotional contagion, and recent research shows that spending just 10 minutes with a stressed or negative person is enough to raise your cortisol levels, the stress hormone. Now imagine the effect of that every day for years. Negative people don't just complain, they drain. And the worst part is, they don't always realize what they're doing. Sometimes they're well-meaning family members, childhood friends, or co-workers, but without noticing, they become messengers of scarcity. They're the ones who say things like, "That's not going to work. At your age, why even try? Be careful. The world is dangerous." These phrases, repeated often, act like mental viruses, and every time you hear and agree with them, your subconscious reinforces the fear of taking risks, investing, and growing. At 40, 50, or 60 years old, you've already accumulated a lot of experience, but also many connections, and some of those connections might be silently draining the fuel of your prosperity. That's why protecting your mindset is more important than protecting your money. Because money only grows where the mind is fertile. Let's talk about the damage that negative people can cause. The first is emotional. Living around pessimism trains your nervous system to stay in constant states of alert and worry. This reduces creativity. And without creativity, no financial solution can endure. The second is behavioral. Negative people promote inertia. You start postponing decisions, lose momentum, and the fear of making mistakes becomes greater than the desire to win. The third is energetic. Every complaint carries a vibration, and when you stay connected to it, your own frequency drops. As the physicist and psychiatrist Dr. David Hawkins once said, "Nothing prospers in vibrations of shame, guilt, and fear." The fourth is financial. Studies in behavioral economics show that a scarcity mindset affects your ability to plan and increases impulsive spending. In other words, living around people who constantly complain about money can literally make you poorer. The fifth is spiritual. Negativity blocks the flow of gratitude. And without gratitude, the energy of abundance finds no room to manifest. Now, why is it so important to overcome these influences? Because prosperity is a state of consciousness. And consciousness is like a magnetic field. It attracts experiences that match what you feel and believe. If you surround yourself with people who constantly complain, the universe understands that this is the vibration you wish to maintain. But if you choose to be around people who inspire you, who believe in your potential, and celebrate your victories, even the small ones, the energy field changes. You begin to feel capable again. Doubt gives way to faith, and scarcity starts to lose its grip. There are countless real examples of people who only began to prosper after stepping away from negative environments. Steve Jobs, for instance, once said that the hardest part of his journey was learning not to surround himself with those who only pointed out problems, but with those who offered solutions. Oprah Winfrey shares that she only began to expand her life when she stopped lending her ears to those who lived in victim mode. Happiness, and also pessimism, spread through social circles. In other words, the mood of your friends affects your life as much as your own. And when we talk about prosperity, the same principle applies. So here's a question for you to reflect on. If you were the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, what would your financial life look like today? That's a powerful question, because it reveals who you're building or destroying your personal mastermind with. And if the answer makes you uncomfortable, it's not time to feel guilty. It's time to take action, to reconfigure the mental environment where your prosperity will flourish. Start by applying 3 simple filters. First, notice how you feel after meeting someone. Do you feel energized or drained, motivated or discouraged? Your body knows before your mind does. Second, spend less time with those who complain and more with those who inspire. You don't need to cut anyone off, just change the balance. Third, strengthen your vibration daily. Say affirmations, meditate, read books about prosperity, listen to uplifting content. These habits create mental armor, and the more you feed the field of abundance, the less power negativity has over you. Napoleon Hill used to say that wealth begins with a state of mind. But he also warned, nothing destroys a prosperous mind faster than the constant influence of thoughts of fear, doubt, and failure. That's why protecting your mind isn't a luxury. It's both spiritual and financial survival. You can't control what others think, but you can control what you allow in. You can't stop the rain of negativity, but you can raise the umbrella of awareness. And if you doubt the power of that, just look at the business world. Entrepreneurs who prosper surround themselves with positive counsel. Elite athletes work with coaches who reinforce potential, not mistakes. And people who rebuild their finances at 40, 50, or 60 learn an important lesson. The mind needs nourishment, not criticism. The author and psychiatrist, Dr. Carl Jung, once said, "What you resist persists." So instead of resisting negative people, simply don't connect to them. Let everyone live in the field they've chosen, and choose yours. Choose the field of abundance, faith, and growth. Choose the conversations that make you believe again. Choose the environments where someone's success is a reason for everyone's joy. If you're in the mature phase of life, remember, time hasn't weakened you, it has refined you. Now you can recognize what you no longer wish to repeat. Now you have the discernment to choose who walks beside you. And now you can decide to surround yourself with those who vibrate at the frequency of growth. If this video added value to your life, give it a like, share it with friends, drop a comment below, and subscribe with notifications on. You can also enjoy the extra content I left in the first pinned comment below.